All right, so I'll go over just a little bit on the exterior of the machine. You'll notice it's obviously completely different from the old model, but you're gonna have side lights now. They're kind of embedded into the cab a little more for a little bit better protection. The quick coupler is completely different. So instead of having two pins having to run independently, it's the same coupler they have on the 908. So it's just one cylinder pushing up, and it's just pivoting this rod to lift the pins, and then it's just pulling it down to lock them back in. Your visibility down to the actual coupler is going to be a lot better just on the sight lines out of the cab. Leg room, you got a ton of forward leg room and side leg room, so that's all changed. All your grease points are going to be easily accessible there, and then on the outsides of all the pins all the way around. So as you're moving around everything, there is all the flag pins. Fuel fill door on the side. Undercarriage wise, you'll have your torsion axle still, and there'll be two grease points. There's gonna be one here on each one. The idler, what changed is instead of being basically a tube like this that was sliding in and out, now it's like on a dozer, it's sitting in a channel to hold it tighter, so there is no idler up and down play like there used to be, so that makes that front end feel a lot more stable. Obviously the loader arm changed, different linkage. Come around to the back, on the side also. So this is where it's pulling in your clean air for your cab air filter, and then your cab air filter changes right here. Simple as just pulling it out. Coming around the back, different back here, so it's pulling all the air in from the back, shooting it up through the top. And so that's your clean air intake for your engine. You open the door, so it does have backup camera. Open the door. Back in the engine bay, you're gonna have your AC condenser, radiator. Been pretty standard setup how they've had it. The engine did get lowered a little bit to lower the center of gravity and give it a little better, feel a little more stable when you're grading. So looking at the engine area, you're gonna have your fuel filter. Engine oil filter, it sits vertical, so you just shut the machine off, wait about a minute, it'll drain everything out of the filter so you can pull it out and it doesn't make as big of a mess on everything. Battery, block heater, and battery disconnect, and then your cab air filter, or engine air filter. So it's a pretty clean setup. Made it a lot easier to access everything. Also, this top radiator, you can unhook this and you can pull this whole piece off if you had to clean anything out on the radiator. It's really simple to take on and off. Moving around to this side, you're gonna have same grease points all the way around the machine. Under this door here, this is your hydraulic oil fill, and then your sight gauge for your hydraulic oil. Up here, you're gonna have auxiliary couplers. They did change up. You got a pull knob now. That's to relieve your pressure off your hoses. And then your work tool. So this is a high flow and high pressure unit. So if you want to run it in high flow, you just need to get a plug that plugs into this. It dummies two of the wire, or jumpers two of the wires to tell it it's a high flow attachment to have the machine go to high flow. The way it sits right now, it'll just run at standard flow. Yeah, one of the other things they changed is they put the antenna for the radio. It used to be tucked behind the arm here. Really tough to get good reception. They moved it up to behind the cab above, so radio receptions so far what I've seen is very, very good. The one other thing they added, if you can see in here, they added a guard below your hoses. So if you were up, going out cleaning up edge of a field, that's going to guard any sticks from hitting here, and you can add a guard to go over the top as well to guard this whole area. Only downside I see is that this does fill up with material, but I don't see it being that big of an issue because it's not really moving at all. So yeah, that's kind of a quick rundown on the exterior. I'll do one on the inside of the cab as well. The other thing is when you open the door, it does open very wide, and it's really easy to walk in and out of the machine. And if you need to take the door off, you can take it off in about 10 seconds. It's a matter of taking this plug out, and all you got to do is just lift the door up, and now it's off. And there's just a setting in the screen to tell it that the door is removed. So very simple on and off.